Every year we go through the draft process and we find players that are labeled as tweeners or chess pieces or do-it-all players with the versatile skill set to do lots of different things in an NFL defense. Jalon Walker, edge slash linebacker out of Georgia, is one of those players in this draft class. What is he going to do best in the NFL, and how does he actually project as a prospect? Let's dive into the tape and talk about what he's actually going to be asked to do at the next level and where I think he's going to succeed. All of that being said, there are both really good traits as a linebacker and as an edge player to be able to succeed at the next level. Is it consistent? No. He's being asked to do two things, actually three things at a time throughout a football game. So he doesn't have the natural ability just to go out there, play as he wants to, and get better throughout the game, throughout the season at one position. He has to do multiple different things. So here, again, you got to run play. So you know the offense, again, run down here. So Jalon Walker at linebacker here, mostly on that weak side linebacker. If they're in nickel, he's, again, on that weak side. So he's going to come down a little bit here. When you've got this offensive lineman coming at him, you have to be able to stack, peek, and shed, right? So here, again, he's got that, to believe it's the center here, coming at him, and he's going to be able to extend right there. This is where you use that length. I know he has 32-inch arms, but they're actually long. He uses them very well. It's not necessarily about how long your arms are, and for a guy who's 6'1", 243 pounds, he's a good athlete, and he delivers power throughout his reps. So here, again, extension, peak, and then shed inside, and then close on the running back. So you can see the length that he does have, he uses very well, and he knows how to use it too. It's not just someone throwing around the body, throwing around the arms, and kind of figuring out as he goes. He knows exactly how to get his arms in the chest, extend, and then peek, right? Stack, peek, and then find that football. Okay, you see it coming this way. I got eyes on it right now. Eyes in the backfield there, sees that running back, and then you see he takes a little bit of a step outside with his arms stretched out. So again, he is going this way, right, with his arm still in that chest. So he's already separating himself and shedding that block attempt from 65 and then closing on the running back. So he's a willing player. He does whatever he's asked to do. We've heard great things about his leadership at Georgia. And again, when you're doing everything asked of you in this type of way, there's more to it than just being a leader, going out there and giving it your all. You have to have the talent and physicality to be able to. I included this one not because he does anything crazy, but because he's getting a pull from Tyler Booker, one of the most powerful offensive linemen in this class. And what I saw here, again, from this almost wide 9 position, is that he's going to come and meet this block head on. He's not going to be afraid of it, because you can't be afraid. You're going to be dealing with these kind of blocks all day at the next level. There was a rep where he was lined up right here against the run, and he had to take on a pure one-on-one block from Tyler Booker, nearly got double teamed, and he just dealt with it very, very admirably. So the power, you can see it in his physique. He holds his weight very, very well, and he carries a lot of power and drive and then pop in the shoulders, through the legs, into the arms. So again, he's not afraid to establish contact there. He plays with a good base, a strong base, and he's able to take a lot of different power types from different places. So he's going to throw his body around. He's going to give you lots of different looks as a linebacker, as an outside linebacker, as a defensive end. He can do all of those things very well for you. And at the end of the day, I do think there's going to be some need to improve the hand location overall, but you see the physical nature that he plays with, right? He comes down, he's got that energy, that effort level, but he's going to bring on the block here from Clemson's offensive tackle. And then again, shoulder down. You would love to see hand inside, not slide off to the outside, where then you see the tackle can get more physical with them. That's one of the things, again, when you don't have your hands to be able to extend on the outside and you're not always taking it to them, they can out physical him, outwork him in that regard, and kind of swallow him up a little bit, because he is a little undersized. But overall, the effort, the tools, again, the most important thing about this is when you see it on tape, when you see it happen game after game after game, there's just a little bit of hiccup here and there. We can project how that can be taught, how that can be kind of modified here and there. So all in all, a very good, favorable body type. I know he's 6'1", so he's a little bit short for a defensive end, but overall you see the length, he knows how to use it. He has power in that as well. So One of the other attributes that I really appreciate is that while he's still growing from a football IQ perspective, he doesn't always have the natural instincts to play, know exactly where the ball is going. He's a very good reactive football player. So you see 81 widening out here. That's his responsibility. So he's going out here to block, and Walker doesn't know that. So he's going out there with him, and he's going to take on this block. And you're going to see Texas try to get number 26 out here on this play right here. So one of the things you notice when the play comes through is that Dan Jackson right here is going to take a poor underneath angle. And when he does that, it's going to realistically give the offense an advantage, right? You want to see this if you're an offense, because then you say, all right, we're going to just take this around and outside, and we're going to get a big explosive play. We've got a block right here. We have a bad angle from this player right here, so we have a running back getting into space. We like that. But what you see here from our guy, Jalon Walker, is that while he gets bench pressed a little bit right there at the point of attack, he's using that to find the football. And again, he's going to widen at the same time, keep his left hand inside, widen to the outside, and make sure that this play does not trigger into an explosive. So they get the first down. It's second, now it's first down. Those downs reset, but it's about limiting explosives. These kind of things pile up. And for an offense who, again, if you're forcing an offense to consistently chunk their way down the field, as we see time and time again in the NFL with defenses playing too high and things like that, trying to make them make the right play, not always the explosive play. If you can limit those explosives and figure out, again, how to play on the outside, force him back inside if you can to your help. Force him to your help. You know they're trying to get outside. So he did a nice job of taking on that block, locating where the running back was, finding it, and then again using that length to his left hand, keeping that outside of his frame while maintaining outside leverage. And then he does fall off the tackle here a little bit. That's not something that I saw a ton on his tape, but overall, you like what he's doing, and you like the ability he has not only to get out in space, using that first step explosiveness, the reactive athleticism and play style that he has really does shine through on tape. And when you have that ability to stop and start in space and use that first step explosiveness, but be able to kind of counter off of it, it becomes a really useful tool when offenses are constantly attacking you with motions and play actions. Quarterbacks maybe throwing the football here or there, but then taking it himself. But again, this is a first down. That's fine. But you see the different tools that he has to be able to stop, start. So he comes down again, right to line of scrimmage, understanding, okay, this ball can be handed off, and if it is, then I need to be able to go down and go get it. But overall, the stop, right? You see he's going to put both feet in the ground. This is, again, one of the more impressive things I think I've seen about him is that he can stop, change direction very, very quickly, and he can move that momentum with acceleration in the same direction. There again, it goes, he stops, picks his feet up, he's going after number 10, he stops again, he's able to get the tackle. That's the type of athleticism in the short area that he brings at an outside linebacker edge position, but even as a linebacker where he's able to be in space, identifies that football, and then again, the reactionary athleticism that he brings to the whole football field, not just the position, but what he can do for the team against the run, against the pass, all those different things with his reactive athleticism really make him a very important positional player wherever he ends up playing. And then at the end of the day, talk about him as a run defender. Like there's obviously some things that need to work on in terms of not allowing tackles to get inside your chest and take over. You continuing to use that length to set the edge. If he's going to play at linebacker, we see the stacking and shedding ability, not getting caught on blocks, being able to read, all of those things do need to come into process. But the number one takeaway that I was watching his tape, and I'm just like, he has such the one of the most natural pass rush feels for a guy who was, again, playing linebacker, quarterback spy, defensive end, outside linebacker, all the different places that he lined up. Again, they've got him rushing all over the place. But the hand usage, we talk about that in use of his length. How can you consistently get away with that and be able to be an undersized player, but throw around your body and figure out how to get after the quarterback? So again, rushing on the outside here, right? You want to get to the corner. The tackle trying to put his hand in his chest, right? So you've got hand coming to you, but also you see the right hand here already in the chest of number 78. But then watch how he reworks his hands, okay? So he's going to extend and then take off, right? So you see, this is one of those really cool things about what you see for hand reaction. He's going to swipe that away and then rip underneath through, right? Like the timing still needs some work in progress, but what you like is that he does the little things, extends with his right hand and slaps away, readjusts his hand to get off that hand from him over there, and then he can disengage and get around the corner and then bend at the hips a little bit there, bend at the waist, get down for the sack. So all in all, from a natural pass rush perspective, he's going to need to work on some things, which we will talk about, but the feel, the ability to use the length that he has to keep tackles away, to create that little bit of space around the edge and create those pressures, sacks, and getting after the quarterback are all very, very much kind of easy for him at times. And also, they move him around all over the place. They have him rushing from 4-eye, standing up, 3, all over the place because he's faster. He's got hands that are much quicker than guards, and when he understands how to make them miss and how to make them when they're using their two-hand punch. Like right here, he's going to attack a little bit to the outside, a little hesitation, right? Come up a little bit slow right here, up on that right hand shoulder of the guard. He's going to give him a little bit of hesitation right there. Going to get that hand jab, and then it's just going to be quick. It's over. It's right there. Slap and bye. Just easy peasy stuff where he's able to use that lateral quickness, the burst that he possesses, but then also slow playing it at times, right there. Right here again, coming to the outside, putting his left foot in the ground, and then back around into that A gap, and he's right by him with that quickness, that speed, that lateral agility that he possesses. So maybe not an elite athlete like Nolan Smith coming out was, but he's still a very good athlete and is going to be able to make some things happen from an edge perspective. And even at linebacker, when you have him on the field, a lot of times it was moving downhill in a straight line, whether it's quarterback spy or blitzing. They were actively trying to have him affect the quarterback in some way, shape, or form. Dropping into coverage is not necessarily a strength of his. It's not like he's a fish out of water, but you do see some of it's again more reactive. He's just not always predicting where the ball's going to go. He's a little bit late on throws over the middle of the field, but you see him in situations like this where, again, the natural feel to try to do that is there. He tries to slap down at the hand of Cam Williams right there, but overall the timing is a little bit off. So he kind of comes in, jabs inside, and Williams honestly does a really nice job. But you see he has that right there where he stabs inside and tries to almost Euro slap right there with that left foot come around, and Williams does a nice job of putting his hand out there. And then he's more trying to push the pocket. He doesn't ever stop pass rushing. Like, that's the thing. This is more about him not just giving up on the play, right? You want guys that are consistently trying to make alterations, different adjustments based on what they do. This is a good rep from Williams. It's also just showing you that while he missed and he didn't necessarily win to the edge, he is in a position right now where you can see him getting to the edge and then forcing the quarterback up and around. And I think he kind of felt that a little bit here because he's going to step up outside there. He sees that coming right there. You got a little bit of pressure from the right, someone coming up on your left. But you want to see him get that timing up right, get it in the position where he's making that tackle think he's coming actually at him. I think that's the big thing, is that he didn't force Cam Williams to think that he was actually going to come right into the chest. So you saw him bring his right hand back and then left hand out to be able to take that out from him. So what we like to see from a pass rush perspective, right? We want to be able to see him do all of those things. You can move him around, bring on the refinement from time to time, and then just get walled up, right? This is the same kind of issue that we were talking about with the run game, where you can get swallowed up by tackles. The same thing happens here. He's going to come off the left edge, or they rotate down into this 3-down defensive alignment with outside linebacker look here. Walker's on the left side, and he's just going to kind of get stuck. He's just going to kind of get stuck on the tackle, right? So when you're trying to get past these guys, you have to really cycle, use your length properly. And again, he doesn't get it right there. It slips right off of that shoulder. He's going a little bit outside. You want this a little bit closer again to that chest, and that's what you're trying to get. So he slips off, and then it's pretty much over. He's still trying to work his way through, but that's the technical stuff. He has multiple different pass rush moves. We've seen one of them already. Obviously, we saw the swim with the little bit of a rip. And then this one, he does try to go the long arm. I think that he has the ability to use that long arm consistently. It's there on tape. He's very effective with it. But overall, just trying to find some of the tuning up those. He can rush from the left or the right. It doesn't really matter. Here against Kelvin Banks, you're going to see some of the tools that he has as well. So technical refinement comes with time, and this is a guy that you want to bet on as a pass rusher right now. I think that he's going to be a defensive end edge rusher, probably more outside linebacker edge, but this is a player that has all of the tools and upside to bet on to be able to get there. One of the things that I appreciate really like a lot about his game is the balance that he plays with. We talked about his base earlier. Coming off the edge here, he's going to get the tackle and then also the chip from the running back. And watch how he deals with it. So he has that explosiveness. He has speed to power. He can collapse pockets when he gets both hands on a guy, even with just a single long arm. But you see, again, going for the long arm, this time you get a bit of a push pull. Look at just the pure strength that he has to be able to take Kelvin Banks off of his spot a little bit with his left arm, pull him down while taking on the chip from the running back right there. So again, the balance that he plays with, the physical tools that he has, and all of that with a guy who can win off the edge with pure speed, first step explosiveness, and a little bit of athleticism as well. And then he's just trying to put everything together, right? Like, he has some bend. You do see occasional times where his hips don't get around all the time and he doesn't get down the line, but that's just him trying to figure out what he needs to do because he has the athleticism to do so. So overall, I think what we're seeing with Jalon Walker is a guy who can play linebacker, but is going to be best as an outside linebacker or edge player in the NFL. He has the length, in my opinion, the power. He knows how to use his personal length to his advantage, and he has the ability to stack shed. We saw that as a linebacker, doing that more as a defensive end where you set the edge right against and he has really good burst off the edge, burst wherever he is. So 2-point stance, you move him off the line a little bit. He's going to bring explosiveness, tackles for losses, and a nose for the football, along with his reactive athleticism to the field. And that's what you want. A guy who's going to continue to get better, but also brings a certain brand of physical effort, and then all of those things with his reactive athleticism to find the football and always be able to be around it are really useful for a young player still developing. And once you put him at a one spot and say, go figure it out, I think we're going to see him absolutely blossom in the NFL. So I hope you guys enjoyed this breakdown of more of a trying to figure out process of Jalon Walker. Where is he going to best fit? I do believe it's going to be edge. I want to hear what you guys think. If you think he should be an outside linebacker, just an off-ball linebacker, or an edge in the NFL, put those in the comments. If you guys are new to the TDN channel, please hit that sub button right now. Hit the like on the way out, and I'll see you guys next time.